Hello there, how you doing? This is a tutorial on how to do the switch stab. It's a close range stab where basically if there's a player behind you, the aim of it is to get behind them as fast as you can, and where hopefully you'll be able to stab them. The only other alternative really is where you can shoot them, or you attempt some sort of matador stab, or but the problem with them is they're either too obvious or you just haven't got the time. I mean, you can't expect to go toe to toe with the pyro and headshot again. You're just going to die. So this is usually like a last ditch option you've got. And what you do for it is you hold the A key, and then you're going to go back with the S, strap in with the D, and then do your stab there. Obviously when the bot's moving, or when the player's moving, it's much faster, and then you take more of a sort of a circular motion rather than like a square motion. It's pretty quick. You will catch good players with it. On the other side, obviously, it's just the mirrored version, so it's going to be D, S, A, and then you're ready to do your stab. Once you've had a bit practice with that, the next step is where you're going to strafe out either way you want. You're going to strafe A, S, and then when you're about online, you're going to turn into the model, so you sort of stab in the side. And that's a little bit faster than having to go all the way on the back and then stabbing from there. So obviously on the other side it's just going to be the same, where you just turn in like that. The cut-off range where you really want to sort of stop even thinking about trying this dab is about here. I wouldn't go any, well, maybe you could get it from about there. I wouldn't really attempt it from any further than that. I know it looks far obviously, but when the bot's moving, I mean, once you get to about that point there, about halfway, that's really where you're going to start the stab. So it's not that far. Especially when you consider the sort of the visual cue. Obviously, if someone's going left to right, it's a lot easier to see because you've got the sort of the terrain as like a sort of a guide of the players moving, you know. But when they're moving front to back, it's just a lot more difficult to sort of to realise when they've started backstepping. And I think that's what catches people by surprise, because by the time they've realised you've done it, you've swung around and you're halfway through the stab. So I wouldn't be scared of trying it from about here, but you really want to try and keep it close range from maybe about here. Just the edges of the pyro flames is probably a good guide for any class, for most classes, because you want to try and avoid the model as well. You don't want to touch the model, because if you hit the model, you're going to firstly sort of alert them that you're a spy if they were fooled, and what you're also going to do is you're going to stop the momentum. So that means you're going to have to compensate more by going back further, and it gives them more time to sort of turn a little bit on you, and then you're going to hit the side model and get a fail stab. Yeah, so I've sped the bots up now, and I'm going to hopefully, I haven't warmed up, so hopefully this is going to go well. I'm not going to end up looking like some sort of idiot. Nope, first one, that's not a good start, come on. That's a bit better. What I've been trying to do lately is really get that sort of side stab, so it's a little bit harder and you do have more chance of hitting the side or just missing altogether like that. But if I can get good at that, this is my logic talking here, if I can get good at that, it's a lot faster. And that's what I'm hoping to do. Nope, so far it's not working well for us. That's a bit better. There's a slight variation of that stab. What you can do is you can hold your A and S key and then strap that across with your D key. Or on the other side you can hold your S and D key, strap that across with your A key. You take sort of like a triangular shape when you do that, like a half triangle on either side. It just depends what you get used to, I guess. The only thing I don't like about this one is that if you mistime it and you go too far back, because you're sort of hovering over the A key, it's difficult to react quick enough to sort of get back on W, where you can trail them and then hopefully get a stab anyway. Whereas if you do it the other way, you're still holding W, you've got a better chance of recovering if you make a mistake. Variation, what I would call the viable one anyway, is especially for scout speeders, you're going to hold A, come back in with the D key, so it's just A and D basically, or D and A, depends which one you want to do. With the scouts being faster, this one's easier because to get past you don't really need S quite as much. I still tend to use it a little bit, just out of habit I guess, but I should really be going for this one. Yeah, it's not that difficult. Right, the last one. This is just complete fun. It's what I do when I'm trolling around and wanting to kill people in stupid ways. Cause it gets fucking boring, all these trick stabs, man. The fucking jump stabs and stair stabs, all the rest of them. I've done them like a million times. What you can do for this, you're going to hold the A key and then pan around with your mouse, and you take like a full circle, like back on the spot you started, and hopefully by that time the player sort of ran up, they're on the spot where you were, and then you've sort of panned round for the stab. On the other side it's going to be the D, pan around to the right with the mouse, and then get your stab that way. I like doing this one just for the, like I say, for the fun of it. Although I've just nailed two there. Oh, there you go, that's more like it. Although I've just nailed two there, it's really hard to do this. There we go. You can, if you want to, hold A and W, and this gives you like a faster arc. You get around a little bit faster. It's just as difficult as the other one, but it's a little bit faster. Yeah, you see, if you go too fast, you just end up rolling around in front of them, like a spy fucking barrel roll or something. The final part is the hit indication. Because you're often like blind when you're doing this stab. The hit indication can give you like a real help in where the player is. So once you see the indication, if you pan your mouse around slightly, it'll turn to where the last part of the damage came from. So it gives you like a bit of a sort of a radar on where the player is. Obviously, classes that don't shoot quite as rapidly as the pyro, it gets a bit more difficult because you might only get one indication. So if you can get used to sort of looking at that, I know it's difficult, but if you can get used to using that as a reference, it can make it a lot more. It's like it feels like a wall hack, to be honest with you. Because what you see now, I was kind of missing them before, but apart from that, I spoke too soon. Yeah, definitely spoke too soon. Never mind. And that's it for this part. The second part of the tutorial shows you the situations where you can use the stabs. There's a few different situations that I've came across.